In the next few videos that I'm going to post on my blog and YouTube channel, I'm going to concentrate on shaped cards because that's what several people have contacted me and asked me to show you how to make different shaped cards. So we've all seen easel cards, and we've probably all seen triple easel cards. I've seen them made with Sizzix dies or framelits, that kind of thing. I thought I'd show you how easy they are to make in ScanNCut Canvas. So this is what I'm going to show you how to make, and then at the end of the video I'm going to show you how to construct it and put it all together. So we're starting off in ScanNCut Canvas. We're going to go to the basic shapes and choose the heart. So I'm going for the first heart in the row of 3, and while it's selected I'm going to go to the properties box and I'm going to take the size down using this first minus button here and make it 3.5 inches. I'm just going to move that out of the way. So that's now 3.5 inches, and we need 3. So I'm going to right click and duplicate and right click and duplicate. So I've now got 3. I'm going to come back to the heart. This time I'm going to make this one 4 inches. So again, on this same set of figures here, I'm going to click the plus button and make this 4 inches. And again, we need 3. So I'm going to duplicate and duplicate. So that's another 3. And then I'm going to select the heart again. And this time we need it to be 4.5 inches. So again, I'm using the plus button here and I'm going to make it 4.5 inches. And I can close that down now, and again we need 3, so I'm going to duplicate it 2 more times. So I'm going to start with the smallest heart. Go to the path tool and I'm going to come over here to the heart and I'm going to hold my shift key down and I'm going to left click on the outside of this heart and drag a straight line out and double click. Now while that's selected, I'm going to go to the properties box. I'm going to change that to a cut line and then a dash line. And then I'm going to select both and I'm going to go to edit center and edit center here because I want to put that dash line directly in the middle of this heart. Then I'm going to click anywhere on the page to deselect. I'm going to bring the next size heart in and I'm going to go to edit and flip vertical. I'm going to bring it over and position it so it just overlaps this bottom heart. I'm going to select the heart, hold the shift key down and select the bottom half. I'm not touching the dash line, and I just want to line these up now so that I know they're centered. So I'm going to go to edit, no, wrong one. Select the top heart, select the bottom half, edit, center. And that just centers these two together now, but it's not moved this dash line. Okay, so I want to now weld the 2 hearts. I don't want to touch the dash line at all. So I'm going to hold the top, I'm going to select the top heart, hold my shift key down and select the bottom half, and that's just those 2 I've got selected. I'm going to go to edit and weld. Okay, so now I'm going to drag an imaginary box around this welded heart and the dash line, and I'm going to right click and group, and I'm just going to put that on one side. And then I'm just going to go back to fit to mat. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same now with the middle heart. So we're going to come to the path icon, click on the outside of the heart, drag, hold the shift key down, which will drag a straight line out. While this is selected, go to the properties box, cut line and dash. Close that down. Select both of these, and I want to center both of these to themselves now. So that's centered the heart and the dash line. I'm going to bring the second heart in of the same size, edit, flip, drag it over, overlap it a little bit. While it's selected, hold the shift key and just select the bottom heart, not the dash line, and edit and center those two together. And while those two are just still selected, edit and weld. Again, I'm going to select everything and go to right click and group. So that's the next size. Then I'm going to take the third heart and do exactly the same. The 3 bases of the cards all made. Now, if you want to score your own cards, you can, just score these with a ruler or a scoreboard. But on mine, I put a fold line in again. So again, I'm going to come back to the path icon. I'm just going to click on the edge here, and you can see that the snapping tool has come in, the little square. So I'm going to hold my shift key down, click, drag out, and double click at the end. While that's selected, I'm going to make that a dash line as well. Then I'm going to select just these and right click and group. Okay, so that's that one done. I'm going to go back to the path icon, and again I'm going to put a dash line in. So click, hold the shift key down, drag your straight line out, double click to anchor it, cutting line, dash line. Again, select just those, right click and group. And then the last one, select the path icon, hold the shift key down, drag out while it's highlighted, cut, dash, can close that down now, select all those and group. Okay, so that's the 3 card shapes. So I'm just going to move them out of the way. Now we need our matting layer. So we've got 3 matting layers now for each of the 3 size cards. And then we also want to do a patterned inset layer on each of these. So with the first one selected, I'm going to go to the edit box, come to the create offset line. I'm going to choose inward. I'm going to take it all the way down and bring it back to about 12 and see how that looks. And that actually looks okay. So I'm going to do the same with these 3 now. So edit, offset, inward, and bring it down to 12. And then the last one. And these give us our layers. So when the card's folded, we're going to have a flat edge here. So to hide that flat edge, that's going to be the pink layer that sits on top, and that's going to be the patterned paper layer. Okay? And then the final thing we need is back to the basic shapes, come back to the heart, and this time we need the small heart that holds it all in place. So I'm going to make this one about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm using the minus button, and I'm just going to take it all the way down to 0.75. And then we need the layer that the whole card sits on, which was the white scalloped heart. So I just need to find that one. So it's the 3rd one along, and this one I think I made 5.5 inches. So I'm going to take it up to 5.5, and then I'm just going to get the biggest of the card bases and sit that on, and you can see it's got a nice border around it. So that's the one I used for that. So that's all the elements of the card. So if you put them all on your mat what I actually did when I made my original, I made the 3 base cards and I saved them as one cutting file, and then all these layering hearts I saved as a separate cutting file. So that's how I made all the components, and then in the next part of the video I'm going to show you how to glue it all together and how to assemble it. Okay, so I've cut all the parts that I've shown you how to make in ScanNCut Canvas, and now I'm going to assemble it. So first of all, I'm just going to put the matting layers onto these heart shapes. And because we made them that little bit smaller in ScanNCut Canvas, when I put them together, they've got a little border around them. I think I've just run out of glue now. You might be able to see the border better on this one. You see it there? That's that one, and then the last one. I'll just put those on one side. Okay, so I got interrupted, so I'm having to carry on with this on another day. So I'm hoping that you can still see, because the weather's different to what it was when I was filming the first part. So we've now got our 3 cards. So if we fold them in half, because we've put a score line in, and then we've got a score line that we did here. So again, we're going to fold that and just burnish it. So that's how they look. That's the first one. We're just going to repeat that on all 3. And now we need our matting layers. So you need to apply some adhesive on this bottom triangle section only on all 3 cards. I'm going to use a wet glue. And it might be easier if you put it down flat, and then you can line it all up and just add a little bit of pressure to the bottom section where the glue is to let your glue set for a minute. And the reason we're doing this is because where we did the fold on the card, if you look here, where we've joined the 2 sections together in canvas, you've got a flat edge. So this matting layer just makes the heart now look complete. And then when it folds, that's going to sit like that. So I'll carry on with the next one. Okay, so that's that one. And we'll just do the last one. You could use a glue runner for this, but it needs to be quite a strong adhesive. Put my finger in the glue now. It needs to be quite a strong adhesive. So that's why I'm just using this wet glue, because it grabs pretty quickly and it's it gives a really good hold. So that's the last one. Okay, Okay, so now we've got those assembled, we're going to start off with the biggest heart and we're going to put glue all over the back and stick this to our scalloped heart in the middle. You're just going to kind of centre it up and stick it there. So I'm just going to do that. And again, I'm going to use a wet glue for this because it just gives me a little bit of time to manoeuvre it and position it. So that's how we're looking now. Now you get the next heart down in size. You need to open this one up, and this heart again you're going to glue on the back and you're going to position it on the pink one, but not centrally. You're going to position it so the tips come together at the bottom. Just going to have to turn this towards me so that I can see it better. So you're lining up the tips, not centralising the medium heart to the big heart. I'll show you in a minute. So it's looking like that. You're lining up the tips. Then you open up this one and you're going to do the same with the last one. Tip down to tip so that you've got all the three tips of the heart all lined up at the bottom. I'll show you in a minute. So like this. So basically what will happen then is each one will fold down, and that's how you mail it. You put it in an envelope and it posts. But we obviously want it to stand up. So what we need to do now is put a little anchor down here. So the way I'm going to do that is just going to open it all up again. The little heart that we cut, I'm going to put some 3D foam on the back of that. And hopefully one will be enough to give it the dimension that we need. Now this one doesn't go tip to tip. You need to bring this one up about 1/4 of an inch or so. So I'm going to position that one there, and then that should hold that in place, and this should hold all this together. Okay, so that's how it's looking. Now I thought my card that I was using was quite sturdy, but this back one kept wanting to flop down. So what I've done, I've just put a crease in this bottom tip, and that way if your card wants to keep falling backwards like this one did, you can tuck it in the gap there of the one in front. So when you fold that one up, just tuck that one underneath and that will keep it in place, and then that one stays in place there. So that's how your card's going to look when it stands. And then it's just a case of decorating it up really. I've cut some flowers on the Scan and Cut. I'm just going to turn them all over and just give them a bend with the end of a piercing tool just to give them a bit of shape. And then I'm going to see where I can position them all. I've cut a couple of banners which I'm thinking I'll just put the greeting on the white one and stick that on there, or I might put that across the middle actually and put the flowers on the other ones. I'm not too sure how I'm going to do it, so I'm just going to have a play, and when I've put everything in place I'll come back and show you how it all looks. Okay, so here it is finished. So I'd cut 6 of each of these little flowers on the ScanNCut, but I've only used 5 of the pink ones and 3 of the white ones. I've put it on this silicone mat so that I'm hoping that you can see the base better with it being white. I didn't think it'd show up on here. So I've stamped a little greeting, I've just stamped a thank you. I just stuck the white layer to the pink layer with glue dots, and then I've put foam pads on the back of that. So we've got 3 little flowers with some rhinestones and 3 little flowers there and the little heart at the bottom. So when you want to send it, you just fold it all up, and that will now go in, I'm just measuring this, I can't remember how big we made it. I think this is about 5.5 inches. So that will all now go in a standard 6x6 envelope. So I just wanted to show you how to put it all together really in this video. It wasn't so much about the decoration, it was more how to assemble it after you've, you know, designed your card in ScanNCut Canvas. So I hope you found that helpful. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe to be kept up to date with any, you know, hints and tips and tutorials that I post here on YouTube and on my blog. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.